Hi everyone. In this video, we'll talk about how can one agent hand off to another agent in an agentic workflow using LangGraph. It may happen a lot of times in an agentic workflow where an agent would autonomously decide if it should process even further or it should hand off to an agent. If it decides to hand off, it should also decide which agent it should hand off to. So we'll see how this can be done in LangGraph. We'll build like a simple project in LangGraph for this, like a dummy project, just to clear the LangGraph concepts around handoff. We will build an agentic workflow for a sales pipeline where we have only two agents. One agent is like a lead generation and second agent is the one who writes emails to actually email these leads. So the input will be a product description, a description of the product that we want to sell. We'll give it to the lead generation agent, and the lead generation agent will decide whether to give it to the email agent or stay on itself and generate more leads. So let's see how this can be done using LangGraph. This is the state that we'll go ahead with. So this is the product description. This is basically the input, and these are the leads that will be generated, and this is the emails that we'll write to the respective leads. If you're not sure about the very basic concepts in LangGraph, I request you to go back and check the previous videos in LangGraph playlist. I'll attach the link to the playlist as well. So here, a different thing that we want to do is this lead generation agent, it wants to update the state, meaning it wants to update the leads, and it also wants to take a decision to pass it on to the next agent, which is the email generator agent. So there are two operations that this agent should perform: state updation and passing it to another agent. Till now, whatever in LangGraph that we have seen, every agent will do something, will do the processing and will update the state. And then according to the graph, it goes to the next node or the next agent. But here the agent should decide if it should go to the next agent and which agent it should be, or it can also decide to stay back, loop and process further. That is something that we want to figure out. Let's write the nodes for these. So there are two agents, lead generator and this email writer agent. Here there is a difference, the way we define these nodes. You must be aware of these normal nodes where we just return like a state update, whichever component in the state that we want to update. But instead of doing this, we can also return something called as command. Command is again a type in LangGraph. With command, what we can do is we can update a state and also go to another agent at the same time. So this is like a combination of conditional edge and a normal node. So what this lead generator agent is doing, it will read the product description from the state, and it will also see if there were already leads present in the state or not. It will generate some new leads. So this can be this is a dummy logic, but this needs to be like an actual logic, maybe using AI or maybe using rule-based systems or whatever. But you'll have something like this generated at the end of it when the logic runs. You can append both of those leads and create one consolidated lead. And it's just checking if number of leads are less than 5 that it generated. It will again stay back on the lead generator and it will update the leads to the latest consolidated set of leads. So next time when we come again here, it will read from the previous leads and it will add new leads to those previous leads and update the state. But it will stay to the lead generator node itself. This is what it means. And if in case we have generated more than 5 leads, it will update the state and go to the email writer agent. So this is how this node works. And this condition is like a very rule-based condition right now. But keep in mind, this can be a very complex condition based on prompts, even based on tool calls. So here an agent can have a tool call, and based on tool call, you can decide which agent to go to next. That is also something that can be done. And right now it only has like 2 agents to go to, but it can have multiple agents as options. And this can be a long if-else ladder. One thing to note here is we have defined the return type of this function, which is again command, list of commands. But we also define like the 2 possible agents that this node can go to. So this particular agent can either stay on the same agent or it can go to this particular email writer agent. So that's how we have given the go-tos here. This is useful in designing the graph. We don't usually add edge for an agent like this. It will decide the edge using these return types. So that's why writing this return type is necessary for this kind of node, where you want agent to update the state as well as switch the agent as well. This is in a nutshell called as handoff. This agent is basically handing off task to the email writer or itself. Outreach email writer is like a basic node you would have seen till now in all the previous tutorials. We'll get the description, we'll get all the list of leads, and we have this dummy logic to write email for each of the leads, and it'll create a list of emails and update the state here. So nothing fancy here, but this is just a dummy logic. This will be replaced with actual AI or whatever rule-based logic that you want to actually write the emails here. The main focus is to learn about these LangGraph concepts like command. That's why I'm not focusing on these AI logic for now. There's also a very high chance that if you have reached this tutorial, you understand AI and you understand agents as well, but you want to learn LangGraph. So let's focus on LangGraph itself. So once we have all this logic of agents in place, we can actually build the graph. We'll use the state that we defined above, and we'll add these two nodes. So our graph only has two nodes, two agents, very simple graph. And we only add two edges. So first is from start to lead generator, and the second edge is from this email writer to end. We don't add any edge from lead generator to outreach email or lead generator to lead generator itself, like how we do normally in a normal graph in previous videos. That's because we have already defined this return type command here, and LangGraph should take care of this. So let's run this and let's print the graph and see how it looks. Great, so this is exactly how we visualized it. This is where it will start. It will go to lead generator. It will keep generating leads till it reaches minimum of 5 leads, and then it will hand off to email writer agent, which will write emails for each of those leads, and we can maybe send those leads to actually make a sale. Let's invoke this graph with a dummy product description. This will be an actual product description which will actually lead to actual real leads based on the description, but for now it's just a dummy thing. So what happened here? We started off with generating leads. This is the line that is getting printed here, generating leads. And then it printed this line 3 times. Then it went to the outreach email. So what happened is each time we run this node, 2 of these leads were getting appended or added. So to reach minimum of 5, we kept adding 2 at a time. So that's why it was called 3 times, which gave us 6 leads. 2 were added here, 2 were added here, 4, and then 2 were added here, 6 leads. And then finally, because it's greater than 5, we ran the email writer agent, and this is the final state that we get. So you can see the 6 leads that we have: name 1, name 2, name 1, name 2 again, and name 1, name 2 again. So that's like running 3 times. And then these were all the emails that were added along with the lead in these objects itself. That's how we have written the logic in the node. If you see, we'll just create this email content, like a dummy content, and then we'll just append this leads along with the lead object itself. That's how we get all these emails, and that's how this graph works autonomously. It's like deciding which agent to call next and when to call next. So here it decides to call back lead agent itself, and that's why it executed lead agent. But after the 3rd time, it decided to call the email writer agent. And always keep in mind, this logic can be way more complex. It's not just less than 5 or anything, but it can be like a very sophisticated prompt. And based on the response, you can take a call which agent to go to next, or it can be a tool call as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got to learn something. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in some next video. Bye.